Bony Sim used to care for the dead. He now looks after the living. From working as an embalmer and funeral director, Bony moved to the operating theatre in a hospital. In his new job, he prepared the operating room for surgeries, assisted the surgical team during operations, and supported recovering patients.
Comparing the present job and the previous job, the difference is that one he passed on. This is a live patient. We have to be very careful and we're full of empathy. In the beginning, there are some difficulties, especially in hospital setting. The language they use, I don't understand at all. Even if we have learned it, but they pronounce it very fast.
The decision to move into healthcare in his late 50s was surprisingly easy for Bony.
There was a roadshow. I dropped in. On the same day, I had my interview. They see whether do I fit the criteria, and that is how it just gets started rolling. I thought it is like death care, healthcare, and well, I might want to try.
Bony had been worrying about his job as COVID-19 changed work in the funeral industry.
It's a big difference, but no choice because of COVID, so things was rather difficult or slow. The value chain itself, selling a coffin and catering is affected. The number of guests to visit the wake are affected. And this is how I come into healthcare, death care. Somehow we are still wearing PPE gown.
Bony got a higher certificate in healthcare in 2023 when he was 57 years old. That meant enrolling in a full-time course. He had 5.5 months to learn the skills in his chosen speciality, operating room or surgical nursing.
Monday to Friday is 8 to 5. On top of that, there is still clinical attachment. 15 days or so in clinical attachment and hospital setting, real-time attachment with real patient, and another 15 days or so or 8 days with another hospital in the operation theatre setting.
Besides the learning demands, the course cost over $13,000. But Bony got a 90% government subsidy because of his age and because he picked an industry that needs manpower. He also used his SkillsFuture credit of over $900. That's provided by the Singapore government to support lifelong learning. All in, his out-of-pocket expenses came up to about $500 for the course. While there was financial support with course fees, Bony still had to grapple with unfamiliar technology.
When I saw Zoom, first time it was in Mandai crematorium, but people cannot attend a funeral. So they do Zoom, it's like, wow. So now here I am trying to do Zoom meeting. And also when I came back to class, I sort of going back to school again.
His starting salary as an operating theatre technician was $2,300. It's less than half of what he earned as an embalmer. But what he has now are skills that are in higher demand. Bony also worked as a healthcare assistant at a daycare centre for seniors. But to have more time to care for his aged mother at home, he is currently working on an ad hoc basis. 2 years into his career in healthcare, he's thinking about a big goal.
Looking at it long term, I'm turning 60 next year. I can easily go another 10 years. So I really want to be a full-fledged nurse. A nursing school will take another 3 years. To do that 3 years, I need to really gear up myself in computer knowledge. That is I'm not sure if I can cope. That is what makes me hold back and think very hard.
This hand push, this hand pull.
Compared with being a healthcare assistant, qualifying as a full-fledged nurse would give Bony a higher base salary and additional benefits. There is more funding that Bony can tap on for his career development. As a Singaporean over 40, He got $5,500 in SkillsFuture credit, and Bony has used $1,500 of his SkillsFuture credit. He has over $4,000 still available to use.
I guess I could use another $4,000 on the SkillsFuture credit on short courses or some middle-term courses on computer to gear myself up before I consider taking up nursing school so that I can cope better.
Peggy Lim from SkillsFuture Singapore says Bony's learning journey is a good example of how it's never too late to pursue a career change. She feels that the healthcare sector will benefit from mature workers like Bony, who bring valuable life experiences and transferable skills. They will also have more support if they need to take time to retrain.
We've just launched the SkillsFuture Training Allowance Scheme. An individual is able to get up to $3,000 per month. So it is dependent on the salary that you were getting while you were working.
Bony made the decision to go into healthcare quickly, but there are over 7,000 courses for upskilling and reskilling covered under the SkillsFuture credit top-up for those above 40, and 27,000 courses in total. So if you're deciding how to spend the credit, these guidelines could help.
The thought process would be, in general, two parts. One is looking at employability would be the most important thing. Do you want to get extra skills within that job scope that you're currently on? Then you should look at skills that maybe you can complement your current career with. Or if you're looking for a career change, then perhaps look for something that applies on top of your transferable skills.
The key thing is you have to understand that not everything is relevant to you, so don't be swamped. And over the years, we have done a lot to improve what we call the search experience.
If you're still feeling lost, you could schedule a one-to-one consultation to get personalized help.
Sign up for a complimentary 40-minute session with our SkillsFuture advisors. In that session, you would actually have someone that you could talk to, share your learning needs, and in response, then they could guide you accordingly to identify a suitable training program.
One thing to bear in mind, to be eligible for SkillsFuture credit funding for a course in Singapore, you typically need to pass the associated assessment or examinations.
You have to pass the test that they give you in order for you to get the credits approved. So if you don't pass, you don't get the credits.
As Bony gears up for his next career move, there's one thing he knows for sure.
You are the navigator of your own path. Do not restrict yourself. If you feel like you want to do something and you have confidence and you have the support from your family, please go for it. It really brightens up the future. Just do it.